Hey everyone, it's P4L, coming to you live with a live stream of Iron Factory's newest figure, their Legend Scale Jazz, which is EX-29 Rushbeats, which is a slight remold of the Sideswipe and Red Alert that we got before, and I'll show some comparisons with those in just a second. Did want to start off saying that this is obviously a sample that Iron Factory gives to me to do their official video manuals. If you haven't seen those, I'll try to link that in the description below so you can see that. That should be up later today. But I always like to put that disclaimer up there. I don't think it impacts my review of figures, but I always like to be as upfront as honest as possible. As always with live streams, I always love answering questions. If you guys want some comparisons and stuff like that, or want something more specific addressed, let me know and I'll try to get to those questions as soon as possible. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get this open. We do actually have a nice box, pretty standard small box from Iron Factory with some of the images on the back. Open it up. We do get some instructions as well as the clamshell. We'll just get rid of that. There's Rushbeats and his gun. So instructions are pretty basic. I think they do skip some or at least don't have a good view of certain parts of the transformation that are really critical to get it right, but we'll address those as we go through. As far as the figure itself, he looks really nice. I think Jazz is one of those kind of neglected G1 characters, even though everybody loves Jazz. As far as toys go, he gets kind of neglected, I think maybe just because of the lack of remold possibilities. Even in the Masterpiece line, even though Jazz is very popular, we haven't seen him, although he has been rumored for quite a while to be getting a Masterpiece rendition. And I think we have like maybe 2 or 3 G1 Jazzes out so far. But yeah, not as many as you would expect. Anyway, 360 wise, he looks really good. He's pretty clean. He has a bit of a backpack, which is the roof of the car, but nothing major. He does have some wheels that move. And as I said, he is a pretty decent retool of the Sideswipe mold. His gun does peg into his fist, as you would imagine. Either one works fine. And the gun itself is pretty nicely painted in silver paint. The handle swings up on a pin, and it has a little tab here, which we'll use in alt mode. Is official one not samples next ricochet stepper? I don't know what you're, Gabriel, I'm not really sure what the question is, but yeah, let's do a quick comparison with his mold mate, and you can see just how similar they are. The transformation is essentially the same. There are a couple of extra things that they did to the top portion, obviously for the chest, as well as this little nice feature, his speakers. So these purple speakers out here that you can flip out as part of the front fender. Those are optional, but by and large, very similar design. The same backpack on the back, even the spoiler and the lower part of the leg is very similar in design. But again, it is a remold. And luckily, since it's not a G1 iteration, it doesn't have to be too close to a Porsche. As far as transformation, it's same kind of deal, but let's go to articulation. He does have that ball joint up here, as well as that weird hinge on the shoulder, which you really only get up, and you get some interference. I really never liked this shoulder design that they had. I think it's probably one of the weaker designs that they have. Yeah, this is like a retool. And he has a shoulder swivel, a bicep swivel. He has about 90 degrees at the elbow. No wrist articulation aside from the transformation joint, which is not really that useful. He does have a waist swivel that can go all the way around. It does get kind of interfered with the backpack, but you can actually, the backpack's on a double hinge, so you can kind of scoot it out of the way and you can get 360, which you're going to need for transformation anyway. No ab crunch. His head is on a ball joint. His face sculpt is really nice. He has kind of like, I always thought of Jazz as having almost kind of like a panda head. with his like little panda ears here, or maybe a bear, but you know, the black and white always made me think panda. And he has a nice blue visor. His hips are on a ball joint, so you can go up 90 degrees, back 90 degrees, out 90 degrees pretty much. He does have a bicep swivel on a mushroom peg here. 90-degree bend at the knee. And quite a lot of articulation at the ankle. So he has kind of a double hinge going on here. He has a pin joint there and a small pin here. So he can get a lot of range. And go all the way out as well for transformation. And his toe, while it doesn't really go down all that much, you can see it goes down just a little bit, it can go up. No heel spur or anything like that. But by and large, for such a small figure, quite a lot of articulation. You can see just how like wide he can get and still remain pretty flat-footed. So here's some dynamic posing in him. As far as transformation goes, pretty easy stuff. First thing we'll do is flip the head around. Not necessary, but it's kind of nice so you just don't see his head from the bottom of the vehicle mode. You can flip this little piece down. And then on the backpack, you kind of just want to scoot it out on this double hinge just to give it enough room. Straighten out the arm so that the front bumper will come untabbed from his chest. Just clear his head and then fold down that middle section again. Now you can see the number 4. Hey, Slow DK. No, I'm actually not interested in any G1 figures. I don't collect G1s, so thanks for the offer though. Let's see. More of a sensible time frame. Yeah, I'm doing it in the morning today since I'm busy at night, and and it's such a quick figure. I thought I can do it pretty quickly. All right, so then we'll scooch up on these weird shoulder hinges that I mentioned before. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. The first thing you need to do is it's on an extended joint, the upper body. So you can see right here that this extended joint comes out. Here, you get a better look at it like that. Extends out, and you kind of want to make sure everything is in a 90-degree turn. So 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Then you can go ahead and extend the shoulder upwards and peg it in. This time they used a peg hole to make it like a round speaker. Previously it was a tab, and the tab actually works a little bit better. I think just the tolerances on the peg are just too tight. I can't even get mine to peg in very flush. So I'll put a lot of effort in, but you may have to open up the holes just a little bit. And then the fists kind of go into the side of his abdomen. Yeah, Gabriel, I have quite a bit of Legends figures. The Legends size has gotten really, really popular. I think it's kind of like the new masterpiece in terms of third party. So many companies are doing third party scale. It's kind of crazy. We have like Magic Square, like was it Mech Fans Toys? We have Iron Factory. We have, man, I can't even think of them all. We have so many Papa toys. So yeah, and they're all kind of doing their own thing. Some do G1, some are doing like this. Iron Factory is doing their own thing. So the Legends scale is a very scary and slippery slope for collectors. So just be careful. The ankles will come out like this. Fold the toes in, fold those in, open these up, and I actually should do this first. Rotate 180 degrees at the waist. Oh wait, I already did that. Sorry. At the waist. Then you can tab both legs together, and you're going to want to flip this all the way around and down. Then you can close these up. All right, and then you have actually small tabs on the sides of the hips that tab in to the toes, like so. And then lastly, you have these tabs that will go into the tabs kind of back here. It's kind of hard to see, and this one tab in the center that will go right there. Kind of just scooch that in, and there we go. We have Rushbeats. Yeah, I don't know, Lucas. They've gotten a lot of demand for some re-releases, but I don't think they have any in the pipeline. I'll go ahead and ask. If there are any ones in particular that you're interested in, I did share with them the kind of poll that I did at the competition or the giveaway. And I did share that there was a lot of interest in some reissues, but I haven't heard anything about those. So yeah, you can see his alt mode, and I'll bring out his kind of mold mate here. They are significantly different, even though they use essentially the same transformation and tooling as far as the base. But they did pretty heavy retooling of this. It's not transformed correctly. But yeah. I do like the alt mode. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like kind of the, not Formula One, but kind of a racing version of a Porsche, as opposed to kind of a street legal version of a Porsche. You have a little tab here, which is something new, that you can actually tab the weapon into his alt mode. I'm trying to recall, I don't think these guys had any means of tabbing their weapons or any kind of weapon storage. And they did a really good job with the paint as well. You got the nice clean lines here, the nice Tampo number 4, the silver paint, and the plastic that they always use is pretty hefty. I was actually concerned about these little pegs, just because this was so tight in this peg hole. I transformed it at least a half a dozen times both ways, and I haven't had any concerns about a peg this small shearing off or bending or anything like that. So normally I would be very concerned about something like this, but it's held up really well. No signs of stress or anything like that. So Iron Factory knocked it out of the park with plastic quality again. Overall, I don't, like I said, I don't love this mold. I typically really like Iron Factory's designs, but I've never really liked this, at least base mold. This might be my favorite of the three, though, just because I think it makes some improvements, and the shoulder articulation isn't as, I guess, obvious how limiting it is. Like with him, he feels a lot more limited in his shoulder movement than Rushbeats here. I should have done some other comparisons, but I'll go ahead and transform him back into robot mode before we do some more comparisons. All right. So hopefully I didn't miss any questions. Oh, Dotson Brothers, Lucas. Yeah, that's one of their early ones. So I would think that that'd be one of the ones high on the list to get retooled or reissued, but we'll have to wait and see. So transformation backwards is pretty simple. First thing you want to do is come back here, get this double hinge up and out from these tabs, come to the bottom, release the 2 hip tabs, open up the shins, push the legs through, and one quote-unquote notable part of the transformation is that you have little indentations here on the knee joints. You want to make sure that these are straight, because this tab goes straight in here. You don't want to like miss that. So make sure you do that and that. And then get the toes out. Go ahead and position the ankles, separate the legs, and then rotate the entire lower body 180 degrees to line up with the abdomen. As before, go ahead and release the fists, as well as these really tight circular pegs at the top. Pull them down on the shoulders, get the fists out. Push open this front part of the middle section of the bumper and hood. Clear the head, close it back up, rotate the head around the right way, and then again, you're gonna have to do this kind of set of hinges that go into his back. You may want to tilt this backpack hinge just a little bit to get a little bit more clearance. I found that's a little bit easier. If you have it all the way forward, it's hard to actually get into the space. You get some collision. So just push back on that section just a little bit, and then you'll see it goes right in. Oops. Then you can get the chest tabbed in. And then you can fold the backpack up. And once again, you can go ahead and flare out these speakers if you want. Get the handgun handle down and into the fists. And that's pretty much it. I'll do a couple of other comparisons that I wanted to show off. Here is in comparison to their Optimus Prime. I guess it's not a completely, I guess, fair comparison since they're, well, I guess they are kind of in the same line. And then I had the Papa, where's the Papa Toys? Rodimus, give me 1 second. I kind of want to show it off with another Legends series or Legends scale from another company. Since I also mix and match some Legends figures, here is one from Papa Toys. Their Hot Rod, which I didn't do a review on because I just got it recently. But he's actually surprisingly good. So, but you can see their scale is a little bit taller than the Iron Factory one. Unless you consider him a Rodimus, which he's not. His alt mode is Hot Rod. The things you lose out in this retool is that you don't get any of the shoulder-mounted points, but that doesn't really fall for the. It doesn't really match the character anyway for Jazz. I do kind of wish they made it so that he could have the kind of doors or some kind of wings flared out. As we've seen in kind of like the classics Jazz. I really like that look. But overall, that's really it. Did I miss any questions? Another 4 is Coming, Hound, Wheeljack, and 1 Combiner Ruination. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Gabriel. Yeah, Evil Ash, the speakers are kind of cool. I do like that they painted it so it's really distinguishable. He does have a little bit of hollowness here on the side, but it's not too bad, especially for a Legends figure. And again, the paint and the plastic quality is quite nice. So overall, I would recommend him, but again, he's probably not my favorite of the Iron Factory releases as far as this mold. Favorite of this mold, but probably still kind of in the bottom half of my Iron Factory figures. But I'll take questions for the next minute or two before we sign off and let you guys get on with your morning. Oh, the announcements. Yeah. We do have a lot of announcements. I thought you were talking about from Iron Factory. Obviously, we will have that recolor, I believe, but I don't remember seeing it because I missed TFCon Chicago this year. Frankly, I just was tired of going back to Chicago, even though I love the city. So I had to find out the news like everyone else from the slides and from like TFW and from my friends. I heard the third-party panel wasn't that good overall, though, which is usually the case for the U.S. version. The Toronto TFCon third-party panel is usually way better. Lucas, my favorite Iron Factory? Oh, man, I don't know. I'd have to look back. I mean, the Optimus Prime is good just because it has, like, the super armor. And I think it does have options. I like the Jetfire just because I'm a big Jetfire fan. As far as cars go, I may be a fan. Oh, their Six Shot. Six Shot might be one of my favorites. Yeah, I think Six Shot is probably one of my favorites. If that's not like super armored up, because their Steel Lucifer, their what's it called, Nova Prime, is actually really cool as well. But I mean, a lot of people don't have a lot of attachment to that character. Like me, I don't have a lot of attachment to Nova Prime. So while it's a cool toy, it's not. I don't have as much nostalgia for it. But Six Shot, I like them. I like their Six Shot. Yeah, I don't have some of their other stuff. I don't have like Lord Scorpion, their Scorponok, which a lot of people say is their best figure, and I don't have any of that mold. I don't have like the Black Zorak or the Scorponok version of that mold. So if you don't have one of those, people highly recommend it. I just haven't had the chance to go around and pick it up. I'm really looking forward, obviously, their DJD. That's the one I'm really looking forward to. So hopefully we'll get some more news about the DJD soon, and I'm really looking forward to the combined mode for that. Alright, so I think that's it. A really short Legend scale review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Look out for the official video manual sometime later today. Alright, thanks a lot for joining. Have a good one.